promise that you'll catch me.
Hello, welcome back to another Library of Vault video, Early Access. Today we have a brand new patch to discuss, to look through, analyze each patch now in detail. The developers just posted them as I'm filming this video. And so together we're gonna be discussing the new potential meta changes and how it could affect the game as a whole. But before we get into this, I wanna ask you all one small favor. Please use code SALT. Code SALT. It's essential that you use this. If you don't use this, you can't play the game. It just doesn't work. Like, try to play multiplayer, but it just connects forever. You see, you have to use code SALT. By doing that, you go into the creator code section in the shop and add SALT. Hit enter just to be sure. It lights up green. Here's another reminder for you to use code SALT. And here. And with that, we can proceed to the changes presented to us through the game. So here are the patch notes. The developer Seedbound has just posted them in the Library of Vault official server. I think it's currently private, so you guys can't join it. But it's the version 1.0.1 early access. Here's the download link for any of you. I believe you do need the old versions of Library of Vault to play it, because it only has the EXE, unless I'm a fucking retard and I don't know how this works. Alright, so let's begin with the changes now. Thank you Speed for the update. Very good game, loving it so far. My first video on it will be uploaded soon. So you're watching this probably before it's finished. But be sure to leave a like and subscribe until then. Library of Vaulters. You can now reroll your starting cards at the beginning of the game. Massive change, completely shifts the whole meta now. Card generation and Quotes of Greed will not be as important now, so that frees up a lot of light already. Very interesting how this would affect the early game and even the late game. Because you could get your setups way faster, have a better head. It was a really big aspect of randomness in the game before it was added. Now I think that's gonna call it. Yeah, absolutely can't wait to try the reroll deck now. Honestly, taking 2 strawberry elephants and just rerolling them actually might be really funny. Just one-shotting the opponent with light cards. Since you have so many cards, you can just play all of them at once. I think it's gonna butt one-shot by a lot. Although it's a really positive change overall. Big thumbs up, big arrow, 5 big booms for Speed. I mean Seedbound, sorry. They changed their pronouns. Added game disbanding when your opponent leaves. You are granted a win. Really good change that's gonna stop the rage quitters. I've been playing with this one rage quitter called Dubstep Cat and he could not stop ruining my games. I'm about to win and he just leaves them. I don't understand it, but now thankfully that's fixed and no longer an issue. Dubstep Cat, I challenge you to a rematch if you are seeing this. I believe he goes by the player tag, "This is good." Be sure to harass him in the comments and say slurs at him, he deserves it. This is his player tag. And remember to use code SALT. And remember to use code SALT. Alright, let's proceed on. You are no longer allowed to spend envoys or nitra outside of your turn. Really good change that's gonna help with the desyncs that we're seeing a lot with the people with bad internet. Obviously not me, but like the other people. But this should definitely help the game stability up a lot. Especially when you get that extra light from city states. I personally think that's what was causing it, but I could definitely be wrong. I'm not the developer, I haven't touched this game at all. Added 14 new cards. There are now 100 cards. That's amazing. This is the best change there is. This is gonna spice up gameplay a lot, shift the meta. I can't wait to try them all out already. I'm gonna make a new deck with only the new cards, guys. You have to watch this video. It's honestly how the game should have released in the first place. Fully done with 100 cards. But I understand modern games culture. There's a lot of crunch, a lot of rushing. Developers don't get to see their families. Especially Seedbound. Especially poor developer Cat over here. I think he's like friends with This Is Good, who you should definitely harass. But poor Cat was tortured over and over to play the game until it's good and it's tested. And just the game developers are so mad at poor little Cat. That's pretty ridiculous, but the game's in a good spot right now. I'm really happy with it. Really enjoy playing it daily. I think I'm the best player right now personally. I think This Is Good is a dogshit player. You should harass him. Rape him, please. Can we get a rape in the chat for This Is Good? But yes, the 100 cards, phenomenal. Absolutely one of the best things that was added this update. Along with the rerolls. All of these changes are just amazing. They're massive, absolutely boosting the game up like 100%. Let's move on to the quality of life that we're done with the gameplay changes. Various deck editor improvements. Absolutely adored this change already. I was a huge proponent and critic of the current deck building UI. I was saying the UI needs to be longer. Actually, I can even show you it. Let's see. And when we click on the deck editor, you can see now the window is fully long. I was personally upset it wasn't the whole size, it was about half. And that really didn't let me look at all the cards, but now I can see them all fully in glory. It makes deck building a lot easier. You won't be forgetting about any cards that you could have missed potentially. So yeah, this is definitely another amazing, phenomenal change that we got here. Big fan. Let's see. Deck editor now has a search bar. This is an absolutely essential change with the current deck builder improvements. It's just with how many cards there are now, the extra 17 cards really boost this up, and it's an important feature to have. For example, if I need to find a JJ, oh I misspelled him, a J, you can find a JJ and his rare variants. I still haven't discovered all of them and how to get them, but it's gonna be a video real soon discovering how to get all the newer JJs. Great change. All of this is getting a big thumbs up from me and 5 big booms. Boom, 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 boom. I think that's 4. No, whatever. Deck editor shows you why you cannot add certain counts to your deck. Out of force or max card count reach. I never even knew there was a max card reach. Max card count reach. Well, this is quite an interesting change, because spammy decks won't be as effective. I should honestly try one out. This is giving me some inspirations already. But the force is definitely helpful. If you can already see it pretty well, but it's just a quality of life change, and it's quite nice to have. I appreciate the developers for it. 5 big booms. And a few more. I guess we're gonna have to play to discover what they are. Personally, quite a big fan of all the quality of life shit. Absolutely huge with the deck editor. Oh yeah, wow, I missed one. Deck editor now shows the timer value of a previewed card. Amazing change. It was bugged and you really could not tell the value of timer cards except memorizing them. It's gonna be quite helpful to see Yandere Dev's real timer, I bet. I think it's like a super secret card you have to unlock to make it work, because it's Yandere Dev, of course. He's more consistent than me. Balance changes. That's good. There's not enough space to even show all of them. Wow. I know it's on another screenshot that I have that our courteous developer posted for us, but we're gonna be going through all of them as well. Amazing changes. Hoping for some Nika buffs. That would be great, personally, I think. No bias at all. Big thumbs up. Let's head on to the bug fixes, gang. Fixed wrong Envoy deploy that was showing Nitro instead. Amazing change for all the Salt mains out there. Borderline necessary. Sometimes you just think you don't have an Envoy, but you actually have an Envoy. You have to constantly be checking your end weapon if you're pairing him up with Slav. Honestly, the biggest downside of playing Slav Salt is because of the bug, but now that's eliminated. It could be quite a powerful deck that you could see your own city-states. Fix duplicate natural salt city-states. I have not even known this was a bug. I thought that was an intended feature. That's really interesting. I was really hoping to get a triple Slav opening one day, but it looks like my dream is over. But I'm quite a fan of this change nonetheless. Because I have gotten Press Slav twice in one of my games, and that was absolutely game ruining. I lost to a fucking Mikado deck. Can you believe that, guys? Absolutely dog shit, but amazing change nonetheless. Big boom. Slav Nitra purchases are now sent to the server. Your opponent's Nitra value will change on the purchase. I have not known this doesn't even work, but it's an amazing change now that we can see our opponent's Nitra properly. It's gonna allow strategy to flourish. I think it might be an indirect nerf to Slav mains, now that we can see their Nitra change properly. Well, I'm quite excited for the quality of life changing nonetheless. Pick Zanzibar city-state giving Amani instead of Pingala. Another peak change. I have never ever in my life had a Pingala card. Now we can finally see what Pingala does. So I'm quite excited to make a Pingala deck. Overall, the Salt city-states were quite buggy, especially when giving out cards. Like, the developer should be raped for that, but I love this change right now. 5 big booms for the devs. I'm not sure how many there are working on the game. I heard there's a game tester called Cat, but he was fired. Now, the developer is allegedly solo, but I'm quite impressed with how he managed to make this game alone. Seed won't. Picks Kumasi giving 1 card instead of 2. I had never noticed that it only gave me 1 card. That's crazy. But an amazing change nonetheless, yep. Big salt buff. All of this is major salt buffs. Should make him a lot more intuitive to play and fun. Natural salt instead of Amani, same change here. Oh, like I said, it's a great change, essential for the game's health. 5 big booms. Nazca only give 3 cards instead of 4. I've also never noticed that, but this is an amazing great change. I like the 1 card from Kumasi. I'm loving it. Oh, I know this is gonna get a lot of people excited. Personally, not an issue for me, but I know people gonna love the fixed burn cards appearing in the top left of the screen. I know there was one pretty high ranking player called Slav. He's quite an egotistical player. He has his own picture, usually rocks himself in his own deck, and he has his own picture on Discord. But I know he's gonna be loving this change. Quite a great change overall. Let's freeze up the screen, less clutter, beautiful. Fix the meme empty lobbies allegedly. Okay, so this is quite a difficult bug to fix, and it's quite a funny one. When we go to the game, you tend to see quite a lot of ghost lobbies. Yeah, but I don't see any. Allegedly, if you create a lobby, leave it. Yeah, it just got deleted. The bug's fixed, as far as I can tell. Quite nice. Let's see if a player joins. No, HAJ doesn't want to play. Yeah, the lobby's deleted. Quite impressive. The electrocute custom animation. Oh, it doesn't work anyways. Huh, I remember seeing the electrocute animation in the files from the dev. Showing me that, quite a big fan of it. I don't see electrocute often enough to confirm if it didn't work, but I trust the devs on their word here. I'd love to see it get added back one day if it does work. But it's a great change for now. Wasn't tested almost at all. Expect new bugs, new minor bug fixation version coming soon. That's gonna be my job. I'm gonna be playing the game a lot, looking for bugs and whatnot. So that's expected. Still a big boom for the dev to acknowledging this. Known issues. Like, multiplayer lobby match listings still flicker weirdly. and are hard to click. I'm not sure what that's referring to. I'm guessing that's the Godot animation on the GIFs. But I don't think it's a horrible issue. I have not even thought of it as something that needs to be patched immediately, but I'm quite impressed with the amount of bugs and features added in this update already. We really weren't waiting that long for it. The release only happened a couple of days ago, 6 days I believe. It's almost a week anniversary of the game and we already had 2 good patches. Quite impressive for a week and a solid dev. Let's see. Shop still not working. Setting tabs doesn't work. But I know the codes work, guys. I know the codes work. Be sure to use code SALT. Code SALT. It's essential you do this, gang. Code SALT. Make sure to use code SALT and send me pictures of you using it. You have the exe download. I'm not sure if you need the old game version for it to work. I'm assuming so. We have a player here. Actually, no, this guy never played the game. Just a hater. Ignore him. Oh, we have a dedicated fan here. Slow Stroking King, saying this is peak. Absolutely agree with Slow Stroking King. I've been playing a lot of games with him. He's a big fan of the bleed deck. I think he's gonna love the burning cards changes and the rerolling cards at the start of the match changes. Absolute cinema. Use code SALT. Yep, that's the changes without the bug fixes. Covered them all. I think it's time we head on to the bug fixes now. Here we have them. Let's head on over to the balance changes. Quite a big fan of them already. Seeing that Yandere Dev's timeout is fixed. This was quite an annoying bug, but I'm gonna love rocking the Yandere Dev deck. Big W for us, gang. Alright, let's see. Oh, the force cost got changed as well to 3. That's great. And then I love rocking the full Yandere Dev deck. 2 turns is kinda fast, in my opinion, but I think that would make him quite fun to play. Mega absolutely huge ginormous light slash buffs. This is so giant, guys. The force cost from 6 to 4 and the light cost absolutely fucking massive. Light is received extreme mega buffs. Expect a light deck video coming soon to the channel, guys. Can't wait to try it out. Personally quite a big fan of light decks. I enjoy making an economy in this game. With Cocapolis, Adoras and Card Factories, my favorite playstyle so far. So this is quite a big buff to me. Molding buffs, love this card. Very situational but very fun to use. This I think is quite appropriate for cost changes for its potential when you do get it. 5 big booms. The glowing jelly buffs. This is again a gigantic buff to light deck. It's now nearly the cost of Spodo. It's an amazing light source. 5 light given? Wow. Quite insane actually. The force cost reduction as well. Actually huge. I've been seeing a lot of people rock glowing jelly. And I agree with them, it's quite a good card. Now it's even better. It's going up multiple tiers up in the tier list for that. Vsauce gigantic force cost buffs. The Vsauce card was already very underwhelming and the 28 force cost just didn't make sense of it in the previous version. Now this is a lot more appropriate and a lot more balanced in my opinion. The Vsauce buff was very much needed and this is a great change again. Luigi buff. Personally, I'm a bit confused about this one. I thought Luigi was a very good already, especially with Slav mains, triggering double Nitra every turn. It was quite an insane economy card. Not many other cards got value from Luigi, but for Slav it was giant in my opinion. Because you get double Nitra without even the Soul's blessing. No, the Slav's blessing from the Thessaloniki city-state. And with Luigi, it's pretty much like having two Slav's blessings. Amazing card for Slav, not much for else, big buff. But in my opinion, I did not need one. Deathfire Grasp, changed by 1 force cost. A bit of a funny change, it's just by 1, but it does make sense. It's not that strong or that used, so some help is good to see for Deathfire Grasp. Absolutely ginormous, huge, immense Nika changes, guys. This is meta changing in my opinion. No more natural Soul's presence required. Honestly, exclamation mark here. The huge buff for Nika and Soulmates. And on top of that, the envoy cost is reduced to 3. Meaning that nearly from the start you can proc Nika. And without Soul, you could play Soul to burn Soul, play Nika. Wow, this just opens up so many new strats. Amazing changes, great card. Oh. The next change is a bit perplexing. Natural Soul's timer is made to 0. When envoys on timeout 0, envoys per turn is 1. So it's now a turn-based card and not turn-based. So it's now a turn-based card and not a timeout-based card. Huge buff to Soulmates, wow. You're gonna be getting a lot more envoys, a lot more fast. And it now procs with Luigi. Oh my god, this might be OP, guys. 2 Luigis with Slav and Soul generating insane eco. It's kind of scary to imagine even. Wow. And you could quite easily get multiple Nika procs. That's insane. Wow, this is already meta changing. And we already had quite a lot of meta changing cards. My mind is expanding with possibilities. Okay, quite excited to try them out. I'm worried it's a bit strong now. Because 6 turns and you have a city state with Luigi. It's only 3 turns you need. Wow. So in 9 turns you can have all city states. With Salt and Luigi, only 9 turns. Wow. Games usually go for about like 15-20 turns in my experience maximum. Quite a burst heavy game, but I think it's definitely possible to get an early Salt and Luigi combo with the rerolls added from the game. This might be meta. Absolutely crazy. We'll see if these are good changes today, guys. Or not. Greed Bulb buffs. I thought Greed Bulb was already quite a strong slept on card. With work cost change, interesting. Quite controversial, I believe, in my mind. I don't think Great Bulb needed any changes, I thought he's fine as is. King Mukla buff. Wow. That's quite big. King Mukla already one of the most underrated card generation cards. Especially with the less light value because of the multiple light generation sources. King Mukla might be OP. That is 16 cards just from King Mukla drawn. For a comically low force cost, but impressive. Schlifka buffs. This was heavily needed. Schlifka and heal mains needed something going on. This might help counter bleed decks a bit if I'm honest. Quite interesting. All healing got buffed. From Punch Bob and Shit Bob. Interesting. Quite positive changes, more than half of a buff. I think we're gonna see a couple of niche uses for them now, as opposed to completely useless from before. Quite a fan of all the healing changes. It felt like they needed it a lot. Whoops. Also, it's gonna give more grievous wounds value, so it's interesting. It's quite funny how one Schlifka is worth 5 turns of house. Unless he was buffed here and I didn't see it yet. bodybuilding buffs. I know all the bodybuilding fans are absolutely screaming in excitement right now, jumping up like yippee, yippee! The bodybuilding community is saved. It now consumes SG50 553 first, then deals damage. Amazing quality of life and buff change for bodybuilding. Gonna love rocking the bodybuilding deck. Shaco buffs. Shaco was quite meta in the beta versions, I've heard, never seen it myself, but now Shaco is quite redundant and useless, except for early game poke. But these are quite good changes for him. Oh no, this is Shaco box, my mistake. But that's even better than Shaco changes because you can have multiple boxes at once. More than double damage. Wow, it's quite interesting. If you have free 100. If you have free Shaco boxes, that's 75 damage a turn. Not bad for such a low force card. Not bad for such a low force cost card. Shaco could use some more usage. Bloodage the fucking minion buffs. This is immense. Starting with 50 burn on. Starting already with 50 burn on turn. This is gonna make Bloodage so much more usable. Don't think it's quite meta changing, but we're gonna see more Bloodage the minion usage definitely from this. It's now a valid option. Absolutely busted changes. This is the biggest change there is in this update. A JJ damage per turn from 10 to 15. Is the developer insane? That's ginormous. Absolutely huge. Crazy. The JJ deck is so buffed. Harvest buffs that I've heard about these for a while now. I'm quite impressed. Personally, controversially, I thought Harvest was in a good spot because I'm a player that loves to spam out cards and keep them on my board. So I always had the maximum Harvest damage on me nearly. This is a huge, more than double buff to Harvest. Gonna have to watch out for Harvest now. For opponents punishing me for playing a lot of cards. I feel like it nerfs generation decks and light decks quite a bit, because the bleed and one-shot decks are gonna love this new Harvest. I feel like tossing in one Harvest for the force cost is also good, just to be sure. Imagine you place multiple Harvests on one turn while the enemy has maximum cards. That's crazy. That is already 300 damage from just one use of Harvest, and with the second one that's like 600 damage and even more. It's quite crazy. Interested to see the new one-shot decks from it. Adam Rutkowski buffs was a pretty underwhelming card in my opinion, but it's a good change for it. Could be quite a good early game buffer now. And there's less risk of adding him with the rerolls, so you don't get a shitty card early on. Quite interesting. Spoldo buffs? Oh, I really thought Spoldo is very strong, but with the addition of Glangelic, he was nerfed indirectly by having a better option on the field instead of him. But this is gonna make Spoldo a lot more competitive to take, especially for the lower force cost. If you just want light, it's quite good now. Still quite crazy how much it is. We'll have to see how it works. I feel like light is a lot less of a scarce resource in this game now. With this patch, I feel like some stuff might need to be tweaked. But I'm still very excited with all the new changes, and I think they're all quite good most of the time. Gonna pick out 5 of my favorite ones and 5 of my least favorite ones and see what's up at the end of the video, and we're nearly at the end here. Just got 2 more cards to go through, so let's begin. I think Card Factory is already quite strong, so this surprises me greatly to see. But I know a lot of people don't see the value of Card Factory, especially because they don't tend to have a lot of light generation on them. So this is quite surprising to see. However, it's a big buff for me, so I want to complain, but I really can't. Quite interesting to see. I have to rock that light deck now, with extra card generation from Yusef, from Spoldo. I suppose the change is needed because of Yandere Dev. Not consuming light to generate cards is quite strong. So I feel like Card Factory and Yandere Dev are gonna be the greatest rivals now in the game. Quite interested to see. And last but not least, Depression buffs. Interesting, I haven't seen Depression too much on the field, but it's definitely one of the more underwhelming abnormality cards from Abnormal. So this should help it being a less dog shit option. Absolute dog shit. Yeah, so positive change to Abnormal. Indirect buff. Well, I guess direct buff, but it's quite exciting to see still. Finally, no burn cards top left of my dog screen from the slow striking king himself. He's very excited, like I said. Gonna love it. And I can't wait to play with him already. And everyone. Except this is good. This is good as a dog shit player. Make sure to rate him in the comments. I think that covers all the changes. We still have to see the new cards now, gang. I'm quite excited for these. Oh wait, let's pick my favorite 5 balance changes and my least. Favorite has to be Nika buffs. Number 1. Very excited to see Nika competitive and on the field. Huge soul buffs overall. Very cool. Number 2 favorite change would be Yandere Dev, of course. Having him playable opens up a lot of new possibilities and a counter to factories that I think are overpowered personally. Third favorite change has to be Vsauce, huge. Making him usable. Misspelled Vsauce. My bad, gang. Fourth favorite change has to be the healing buffs overall. Very fun to see. I'm gonna add them all together because I feel like you can't take them apart. It's an overall healing buff to all these cards, so it's quite fun to see. And last favorite change in order. I imagine it would be the Depression buffs because I felt like it was the most underwhelming abnormality card as little as I saw it. So I feel like I potentially haven't seen its full value, but I might want it over Sinking now, honestly. Golden Sinking ain't all that, if I'm honest. Now let's have a look at the 5 worst changes, in my personal humble opinion. Number 1 would be those Salt buffs. I think they're a bit too big and the devs overcorrected on the Salt buffs. I'm scared that he's gonna be quite overpowered now with the Luigi combo. I will have to rock it to find out for certain, but I'm a bit worried about it. I think if anything is a bit too OP right now, it's the Salt changes. I got to add Light Slash as one of my favorite changes. So I think I would put it in between I'll put Light Slash between Yandere Dev and Vsauce. And I guess we'd have to move out Depression. I'm still quite excited and think it's a good change, but the Light Slash changes are simply huge and potentially meta-defining. The second worst change, I think, is... well, I think it goes hand in hand, the Luigi buffs. I already thought Luigi is very strong, just underused. Makes Natural Soap and Slav just so much better. It's quite worrying. Third. There aren't many bad changes, but I think the overall light buff from Glowing Jelly and Baldo might be a bit much. I think I'm gonna make that as my 5th least favorite. I think it's the least offensive one, potential. Actually, I'm not a fan of the creep up changes personally. I think it's a bit much. Well, I suppose it's not as bad as the King Mukla changes. I think I have to put King Mukla up here. And the last is the Baldo, Glowing Jelly, combo, buff light. Especially with the Light Slash changes, I think it just might be a bit too much. I feel like Bleed and Light Slash go hand in hand together now, because of how easy it is to get light. Gonna have to test that out now. But Bleed was lacking just a few cards, it felt like, and Light Slash might potentially be the answer to some of the incoming damage you might receive, like Deathman. And actually, my least favorite change is that there's no Deathman nerfs. Me and the community have been screaming about Deathman needing nerfs. He's just far too good. He has too much damage, he has too much utility. He's too consistent, and he has an insanely low force cost. Just everything that you can complain of Deathman. It's weird that he can have all of those things at once. You can slot him into any deck pretty much and get insane value for no reason. I think he's the best Frenchie or Volter card. Well, Slav and Salt have more potential. I think Deathman is just so much easier to throw on and not plan and just get insane value. Yes, especially he's not counterable by Ignite. It's just he takes so much resources from the enemy and he gives you so much for nothing. Yeah, I think he needs to be more difficult to play to get the maximum value. His damage needs to be nerfed, or his burn or stun need to be removed. And actually, one thing that has to change about him is the force cost. 12 force cost for Deathman is insane. That is the same force cost as fucking Greed Bob. Greed Bob and the Deathman are not the same, and this is with Greed Bob buffs. Deathman should be like multiple, so much higher. I think 50 to start. It might be too much, but I think with the current buff ability of Deathman, it won't be that much because you'll have to build your deck around Deathman. It would still be a competitive and useful card, but your deck would actually have to reflect that, as opposed to now where you just throw in Deathman for free into any deck and get insane value. Okay, but that was all the balance changes. Now let's have a look at the new cards added. No. The new cards. And JJ damage buffs, insane to see. The Shackle Box buffs. Blood Edge Dominion buffs. Okay. The bodybuilding buffs. First consuming and then damaging. Quite nice. Weird that Mikado won't also get these quality of life changes. I feel like he could use that buff. I'm surprised to not see any Spood buffs. The Spood is a very, very bad card right now. Worst generation card. Surprised to... Oh yeah, we can see the turns now. Great change. Yeah, it's the first turn card we get. Beblo. You can see their real value now. Quite nice. Ah, forgotten card. The cheaper Adam Kovsky. Adding all the change cards. The insane harvest buffs. Wow, only 10 force cost for potentially 600 damage is crazy. The depression buff. Surprise, Strawberry Elephant is still 62. But he is quite strong. The insane is Balto buffs. And the new healing. Was 5 pigs nerfed? I swear it was 50 damage before. I think that's a secret change. Yeah, it makes sense with the Anton compatibility of them. It is still quite niche though. I don't see a lot of players rocking it. The King Mukla buffs. Slabs unchanged. Interesting. The removed animation. Rebob buff. Same cost. Insane. Buffable on turn inwards. I did not realize this was still buffable. This has to be changed. This is simply ridiculous. A Wolf within on Salt. 2 invoice per turn with a Luigi. Oh my god, that's so crazy. The Nico buffs, God bless. Speed needs a crazy insane buff. It makes no sense. He's the same force cost as Midas, but he's just 20 times shitter. I like the mechanical where it's 7, but it should be cheaper. It should not be the same force cost as Midas. The Fire Plus changes. Luigi buff. All the necessary Vsauce buffs. It's essential. The glowing jelly buffs. Molten buffs. Yandere Dev playable. Insane light slash buff. Card factory buff. And we get to see the new cards, which is quite crazy. These are all the changed cards that I remember. So let's make a deck out of the new cards instead now. Chilling. Just Chilling. Absolutely love the artwork for this one. The artists went all out. Incredible card, incredible name. Just Chilling. Select and reroll cards from your hand. This is the new mechanic that was added and it's quite insane. It might be a bit weak because you would rather get like a Pot of Greed and get better value than just Chilling. Interesting. I think the max count of 2 is a bit limiting. The cost might be a bit much for Chilling to be meta. But it's quite interesting to see this new mechanic in play. But I feel like you would rather have a draw card effect than Chilling, except the first opening, in case you don't get like a Pot of Greed early on, or a card generation method. Next we have Green Biden. I absolutely love this card as well. Like Chilling, 2 of my new favorite cards already, and I see a third one coming up. Oh, these are great changes and additions. 1 on card. What? Okay, it's a new troll card for Nikado. timeouts. Have one on prime. Burn selected cards. Interesting. So this just the new Nikado food method. He just plops himself on the field and burns himself with 0 first cost of this card. I think this might be meta. There's like no cards that could benefit from this, except to get rid of a Spood off your field, because that's a waste of space. And you can just burn them, or he'll do that for you yourself. This is insane. Wow. One turn. Okay. That's 2 turns of death, man. What up? You can insta-Beblood. Wow. 2 turns up. I'm pretty sure you could insta-Beblood with it. And your opponent could not react. That's quite interesting. More worried about the new Scorched Earth and Cat. If you have two triple clocks, you could insta Cat, which is just crazy. Your opponents could not prepare for it. Wow, this is also just completely meta changing. So much changes just from triple clock being added. I'm quite excited to see how it works though. I think eventually we needed to have a timer reduction card. Not over yet. 22C. On turn, if hit count this turn is more than 4, play your turn again. What? So this is... Oh. This could be amazing for Slav. And this is just more than 4. Wow. A lot of cards would benefit from this. Better Vsauce? No, it's on play. On turn. No, it is on turn. This is a better Vsauce. This is quite insane. Oh, wow. Would love to experiment with this card. I think it's quite fun and interesting. Hands of Tick Up Cards Timer. What? There's another timer generation cards. It's buffable but you can't really control the on play effect. It's meant to be on turn. Interesting. But right now it looks like a worse triple clock. I think this was meant to be on play because this doesn't make a lot of sense why it's more expensive. Huh. Very interesting. What the hell? Coca-Cola is Puma. 11 unbuffable chance of damaging the opponent for nearly half their health. And if it procs, it burns itself. That's a very interesting gambling card. Wow. Would this be defendable with Baloo? Could I drop 2 colas, Baloo both of them? They proc twice. Statistically, I would need around like 10 turns for them to proc. But I could always just get lucky. And getting the new on-turn effects could speed that up so much more. With Luigi, not over yet. This could be a new potential one-shot deck just with cola. Coca-Cola is Puma. My mind is expanding and it hurts, but I love it. These changes are amazing. I can't wait to try them out. Blueberry Cat, my other favorite card, added. But to add cards. On burn, damage yourself worth 50 damage. Draw 2 cards. Wow, it's free. It's pretty good. I think it's not a troll card like Green Biden is. It's like another Theodore. It's better than Theodore. It's buffable. It's quite funny to buff and natural selection blueberry can't get more cards on burn. But wait, it would buff the damage you deal to yourself. That's quite funny and an interesting risk reward. The Zero Force Ghost is quite interesting, especially with the reroll mechanics now. You statistically won't get this dog shit card early on. Actually, this card is good early on. You would want it to draw more cards. This is a great early game card. I'm quite interested. And like, Pot of Greed is the same, but unbuffable. This is 3 Pots of Greed, just card generation is through the roof right now. Wow. Honestly, the damage is a bit too low. I see no reason to use the expensive Pots of Greed now to get the same effect, but without damage. Huh. Very cat meta? Question mark. We have Light Bomb. SpongeBob boiling in a pot of light. I love the Bob archetype of card. This is another great addition. He looks like he's in cup but not light, but it says pot of light. Burn. For each enemy card grants 1 light. It's quite situational, but it's quite cheap as well. Buffable. Okay. A maximum of 8 light is quite good. I think it's gonna be pretty niche, but it seems quite strong. You gotta try it out. And the final card, with its other 5 cards, it's Fishing. Gone Fishing. Sweet card. Okay, it's a new generation. Okay. New generation card. 8? Huh. The new Gone Fishing deck, I'd have to see what these do. Barely assess it. Quite interested. Let's try to fight the bot with it. Is there a server? Nope, no one's playing. Dead game. Is this a new song? Oh, wow. Yeah, we want to reroll both of these. Oh, wow. Interesting. Oh, not light, okay. Interesting. Quite interesting new song as well. Quite fan of it. Oh, that's crazy light bulb value. Can't light. Reroll means it's still in my hand. That's interesting. I like draw. So good. Okay, the use of it would be if I want a late game card, is to reroll it back into my deck to not waste card slots. But the problem is card slots are so high already, there's little value to chilling. Guess it's just another reroll source, but it seems like the weakest one and being overly expensive. Uh-oh. Buffing Light Bulb and Green Binding, interesting fight. Wow. Dress slap. Okay. Well, we got a new card. Oh, it's a bleed? Oh, wow. It's a buildable bleed machine. Wow, it's a healing light as well. Dog. Bleed. Poison. Same thing, yeah. You have a new border, I think. And Aquaticus. Okay. Quite interesting getting the same cards over now. Is there no limit? Unlimited bleed deck? Suppose you need to get some semblance of a setup for it. Let's get some light bulb. All I would need is a Honestly, the Presla kinda gonna be goated WoW already. That's an on-play. Wow, Nico with buff the money. Let's be buffed by fishing rod with the supply. Oops, one damage. One there. For free, by the way. Well, fail. 160? No. Belgium doesn't work unless my hand is full. Yeah, I think it's full, that's why. Let's see. Don't really have any timer cards. Oops, I'm missing one. That's fine. Oh. Huh? Snap up. No, I'm just missing one. Come on. Fish. Oh, he can't burn himself. Oh, the cards revive one. Holy shit, the music is going up. I love this new menu. Golden apple, oh wow. Yes. Huh. Nearly full light bulb value. Interesting, the fishing cards overflow into my hand. I mean into my deck from my hand if it's full. Unlimited fishing value? Hold up. Full fishing plus DU meme and buff them all to 100. And I would just be able to infinitely spam fishes and heals. Huh. Interesting. The Coca-Cola Espuma proc. Victory. Peculiar. Interesting. I have a mixed feeling on the fishing card right now. I feel like it just does too much of everything. It gives you light, gives you consistent damage with bleed, it's buffable, it gives you infinite cards, so card limit just doesn't exist, so you can keep bleeding, healing, keep getting light. Yeah, Seppuku, it would be insane with all the pufferfish. There's a chance to get the crazy insane golden apples. Just wow. One counter I can think of right now is probably the harvest buff. Would do quite a lot of damage to all the fishing. And most of all, the thing I wanted to stress is that you can buff it with the DU meme card, and all of them will be 100 each turn. Which is just wow. Imagine how many pufferfish you could get, and then apply Seppuku just once. And you can even heal all the Seppuku damage to yourself. You don't even need any other bleed cards with a full fishing deck. It's a bit insane. If you rock a GA as well, you could just be safe from any one-shot. And the opponent is all but guaranteed to bleed out. Can't really ignite fishing, because there's too fucking many of them generating cards. Well, that has been my Library of Vault patch video, guys. think that's about everything I can show you right now with all the new changes. Remember to use code SALT on checkout from the shop. Code SALT. Great. Go to the final look at the balance changes opinions. I like the Nika change, the Yandere dive change, the Vsauce change, the Light Slash change, and the Depression change. I dislike the Salt buffs, the Luigi buffs, the Greed Pop buffs, King Mukla changes. Too much buffs. I dislike the King Mukla buffs and the Swoldo Glowing Jelly buffs. Yeah, and I think it's a bit crazy Strawberry Elephant isn't buffed. Maybe he doesn't need one. No, the reroll changes. I think I need to play around more with Strawberry Elephant, but Deathman definitely does still. What other cards could use changes in my opinion? Mikado buffs, food buffs, house buffs, some kind of Beblo change feels a bit underwhelming. Exhaust buffs. Oh yeah, speed buffs. Crazy that there's no speed buffs. And Guppo listeners. Maybe it's not that OP now that I think about it. No, you can finally not add the mystery card. Why not? I have it. Yeah, it seems to let it. I suppose that's my minus nerf plus buff. Oh, bro. Why does his force cost should be higher? Maybe Baloo should be more expensive. Assault nerfs. Fishing nerfs. House buffs. I think we need to nerf these 4 cards and buff these 4 cards. It's just my opinion, go ahead and cancel me. Cancel me if you want. But that has been my escape, Library of Vault update patch summary. I really enjoyed making this video and I hope you enjoyed watching it too, gang. It was a lot of fun. Looking for all the changes and whatnot. Quite excited to try them out in a real game. So, oh my god, Vsauce. So if you're playing right now, hop on, let's play. Yeah. Goodbye. Use code SALT.